Hey guys, we are making blackberry jam here on the farm today with a recipe that is cane sugar free, which I'm very excited about because I am cane sugar intolerant, and so I can have some delicious jam without any guilt. We had an overabundance of blackberries this year on our property, and we picked a whole bunch. We froze a good amount for later in the year for smoothies and that type of thing, but we're gonna use the rest for blackberry jam today. So I've got my blackberries are already mashed. I did that ahead of time. So you're gonna take your blackberries and mash them up with like a potato masher or something like that to get them nice and mashed up. And I've got mine heating up on the stove right now. And then I also have my lids heating up in a boiling water bath to sterilize them and heat them up for the sealing process later. I also have all of my jars pre-sterilized. I ran them through the sterilized dishwasher setting, but if you don't have that, you can sterilize them in hot water on the stove also. So something that you're gonna want for this process are the canning supplies. Ball makes a really cool little kit. You can just get it at your grocery store, or there's a link on this video. It comes with this nifty guy, and you'll use that later for processing the cans. And it also comes with a little funnel for the top of the jars to get the stuff in, and this nifty little guy that's going to measure the head space after we fill them. So this recipe calls for blackberries, honey, lemon juice, pectin, and calcium water. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that later. But in this box, I'm using Pomona's pectin because it's a little bit more on the natural side. In the packet, you're going to get pectin and the stuff you need to make the calcium water. And it also comes with a little recipe guide right here. So I'm gonna go check on my berries, give them a good stir, and then we will start adding stuff to the pot. All right, so back to the calcium water and the pectin that comes in the Pomona's pectin box. To make the calcium water, we're gonna take a half of a teaspoon of the calcium, which is in the littler packet, and mix that with half of a cup of water. And I'm gonna do it in a jar. I've already pre-measured the half a cup of water into the jar. And put the lid on, give it a good shake. And then that will be ready to add to our jam mixture. All right, so I already added my honey to the blackberries that are heating up on the stove. I'm only gonna put about 3/4 of the honey in the mix right now. I'm gonna save a quarter of it to mix in with the pectin, but I'm also now gonna add the lemon juice and the calcium water. So I'm gonna bring this to a rolling boil and then turn it down to medium, and we're gonna have it simmer for about 15 minutes or until it's reduced by about a quarter. This is what my mixture currently looks like. I am doing a double recipe right now, which is why there's so much in here. The recipe that I'm going to give you is for half this amount, but we had a lot of blackberries, like I said, so we're going for it. So now I'm gonna let this sit on the stove, simmering at about medium heat and stirring pretty consistently for about 15 minutes or until it's gone down about a quarter in size. All right, so I added my honey, my lemon, and my calcium water to the mixture, and it's gonna simmer on the stove. I brought it to a rolling boil, and now I've turned it down to medium, and I'm gonna let it simmer and boil for about 15 minutes or until it reduces by about a quarter in size. Try to stir it as little as possible just enough to keep the bottom from scorching. So you don't want it to burn on the bottom, but if you want to have a little bit thicker jam, we're gonna not stir it as much as possible. So while I let that boil down, we will mix the pectin into the honey, and I've got another pot going that I'm going to use for the pot that I process them in and boil them in after. So I'm gonna show you how to mix the honey in with the pectin. So now I'm gonna take the honey that I reserved and didn't put into the pot, and I'm gonna add my pectin to the honey. This is gonna help keep the pectin from clumping. If I were to put it directly into the hot liquid, it would get super clumpy, kind of like cornstarch, like how you mix cornstarch with a little bit of water and stir it up. So I'm gonna work this together while I'm waiting for my berries to boil and reduce. And this is gonna slowly get incorporated here like this. All right, so this is what my mixture looks like now. That actually took way longer than 15 minutes because it's a double recipe, so there's just more liquid to have to boil down. I had this on there for like 45 minutes. But now I'm gonna mix in my pectin and honey mixture. And then I will return it to the heat for another couple of minutes until it starts to really thicken. So this, since it's sweetened with honey, it's not gonna be quite as thick normally as if it was sweetened with sugar. But the ways we can thicken it are with the pectin and with just boiling it longer and getting it to thicken on its own and reduce down. So I'm gonna put this back on the stove for another couple minutes, and then we're gonna be ready to put it into our jars. All right, I've got my jam. It's been cooked with the pectin, and now it's ready to go in the jars. So this whole process, timing is kind of key. Once you get to this stage, you want everything to move kind of quickly. So you want to make sure that you've got water hot and ready, so that when we get to this point, then we've got our hot lids and we have water ready at a boil to put the jars in to process them. So I'm going to start filling the jars. So I'm just going to take the funnel, put it in the top of the jar. I'm using 8-ounce jars. Since these are preserved with honey and not sugar, they're not going to last as long when they're opened. So you want to consume the jam fairly quickly after you break the seal initially. So, you know, probably a week or two, you're going to want to be able to consume the jam in that amount of time. So I suggest using a smaller jar, either an 8-ounce or a 4-ounce jar. I'm gonna fill the jars, and we're gonna leave a 1/2 inch of headspace. And I just made that one way too full. So we'll correct that in a minute. half inch on these jars ends up being kind of right at the base of the rim area. Got my water boiling away in the background. I should have grabbed a 3/4 of a cup to do this. Now I'm way overfilling them. Okay, so this is where this tool comes in handy. So it's got measurements here, little 1/4 inch increments. So we're gonna measure 1/2 inch, just double check. So I need to add a little bit to this one. All right, we're at a 1/2 inch. So then I'm gonna take a wet paper towel or a wet towel of some sort, wipe the rim so it's really clean. You don't want to have any food on that rim to get in the way of the seal on the jar. So now I'm gonna grab my hot lids. So the mason jar lids have this wax seal around the outside, and so we have to get them hot to soften that seal, and then we put it on, twist it on tight, and then this is ready to go into the boiling water. I'm going to finish filling about 6 of these, and then I'll put them into my hot water all at the same time, and they're going to stay in there for 10 minutes. I'll set a timer so that they don't stay in there too long, and then they'll be ready to set and good to go. Our timer just went off, so we can take our jars out of the boiling water. This is where this tool that came in that canning kit I showed you comes very handy. You can safely put the jars in and out of the water. I'm just gonna set them here, and they're gonna sit for 24 hours. We wanna let everything sit for 24 hours to make sure the seal gets nice and strong and everything settles, and then you will have stuff ready to go into your pantry. A couple of tips. One, this is a really messy process, especially with blackberries. Don't wear white, don't wear anything light color. Make sure your surfaces are prepared properly. And the lids that we use on top of the jars, the part with the seal, is only good for one use. So once we pop these off, you're not going to be able to use those again for another preserving process. You can use them for putting stuff in the refrigerator and whatnot, but you want to have a new wax seal on the lid each time. Thank you so much for following this process. I hope it takes a little bit of the intimidation factor out of it. The canning process is actually super easy. It just sounds like it should be really difficult because not a lot of people do it anymore, and there's the whole thing where you can have bacteria build up and all of that, but as long as you follow the steps properly, you can preserve a whole bunch of food for your family and fill your pantry up.